All right. Welcome. Let's see. All right. Welcome, everybody. Good evening to some, good afternoon to some. Wherever you are watching from, please let us know in the chat. We would love to know where you are tuning in from. Are you in Ghana? Are you in the US, in the UK, Canada, Holland, Amsterdam, anywhere in the world that you're logging in? Please let us know in the chat. Hello. Thank you for joining in. We're going to give people a little bit of time to come on into the live stream session today. Okay, I see somebody coming in from Texas, Austin. I'm thinking Austin, maybe Houston, maybe Dallas. Who knows? All right, we have someone here from Ghana. Welcome again. Welcome. Any others? Oh, you can always share this live stream, share it with everyone. Let them know that you're here. All right, Hotlanta. Welcome, Ashley. So good evening. My name is Nzali Abraham. I'm here as the Diaspora Manager for the GUBA Diaspora Network. I'm sure you all are familiar with us, but if you are not familiar with us, I just want to give you a little bit of background about who we are and what we do. So the GUBA Diaspora Network is a membership initiative for African diasporans, non-Africans, corporate businesses, or various organizations who are seeking to connect, to transition, to do business, to live, to play, all of those things here in Ghana. So we want to support you in doing just that. At any given time, you can always join our network. I'll go ahead and drop the link for the network connection in the chat just so you have it. And today we have some very, very special guests who are going to be here with us today. We're going to be talking with one of our own GDN members. Her name is Bernice Appiah. She is an entrepreneur and she's also a millennial woman. So today's session is really going to be focusing on some of our younger folks who are looking at relocating to Africa via Ghana. So if you're excited about that, drop a 1 in the chat. I want to see it. If you're excited about the conversation tonight, let me know by dropping a 1 in the chat. All right. Okay. We still have some Atlanta folks, Texas folks. Okay. Oh, hey. All right, Mrs. Bryan. I see you. Those ones are coming through. So before we jump into meeting Bernice, learning a little bit more about her transition living in Ghana, as well as kind of going back and forth between Ghana and the US, I want us to do a little bit of housekeeping. We've had some exciting things take place with GUBA Enterprises over the last week, and I just want to share a little bit of it with you. So stay tuned. Let me just pull it on up and take a quick look. Oh, sorry about that.
Thank you all for accepting our invitation to be here this evening. For me, I love it when our diasporans are trying to come back home. Coming back home is so important. And so when I hear that somebody wants to come back home, I'm super excited. I just want to help. I just want to make sure that it happens. Come on back when you're ready to know. Give it a round of applause for Yao Jeremiah Owusu. Welcome home.
You see right now, Africa's on the rise. Anytime you see a rising of any kind, there's always starts a cultural revolution before any revolution. Everybody's eyes is on Africa as we see it. And for diasporans, we have that responsibility, that duty to come back. And Amilcar Cabral, another revolutionary, quotes this and he says that we are not children of Africa, but we are parents of Africa because we have the responsibility to build and birth the Africa that we want to see. And this is the ideology behind something small that you may think, right? Of putting on a garment when I go to a top-notch event or go to a game, or I want to be able to represent. And with representation comes exposure. Come with me on
all right. I know you all were looking at that video, and I know you recognize some of the faces from that video. We had some of Ghana's greatest artists, greatest business people in that networking session. We also had our brother from the diaspora, Jeremiah Owusu. And he is an NFL player for the Cleveland Browns, is the name of the team. So we had a beautiful, beautiful networking session over the weekend, really welcoming him along with his foundation, Nkwa Foundation, to Ghana, introducing them to those of us who live in Ghana, who love Ghana, who do work and business in Ghana, and just kind of encouraging him, as well as all the people that were a part of that delegation, to come to Ghana, invest in Ghana, live in Ghana, build in Ghana, and really exemplify the essence of what GUBA is: to grow, unite, and to build Africa. So again, if you're a person who's interested in something like that, you know what to do. You can always join us and join the GUBA Diaspora Network. While I'm speaking of the network, we have an amazing partner that's here. They've been working with us for quite some time now, and they definitely have a product that is extremely, extremely useful to all of us in the diaspora. One of the biggest issues that we have is that when it's time for us to move, when it's time for us just to come and visit, how do we get our money here? How do I take my USD and bring it to Ghana and exchange it and all of those crazy, crazy things, right? Well, one of our partners, one of our sponsors, they have a product that is just for you, just for me, just for all of us. Okay. And so I do want us to talk just a little bit about Pay Angel. Pay Angel, I'm going to go ahead and show a quick little view here. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring up our brother Daniel.
Hi. Hi, hello. Good to have everyone here. My name is Daniel. I'm with Pay Angel Money Transfer. Let me see. I don't have Nzali on. Okay, good. I lost you for a minute there.
Oh, I'm here, Daniel. So what's Pay
Right.
Angel, if you don't mind?
Right. So Pay Angel is a money transfer service. If we have to describe it in the industry sense, we say it's a remittance company, or better still, a payment solutions company where we facilitate payments between diasporans and our home country. So currently, Pay Angel operates for our send countries. We currently operate in the UK, the um, UK, Australia, and we just recently launched the US. So that is very exciting. I'll talk about that a little bit. But Europe, UK, Australia, Canada, and presently the US. So we make sure that if you want to send money back home, it's very easy, it's straightforward, it's secure, and it's fast. We all love the convenience that comes with just sitting in the comfort of your home and then making sure that you are able to reach family back home, you're able to do business back home. And I love something that you said in your intro, where our brothers and sisters who want to start up businesses or they just want to go back home and chill on holidays, you don't need to carry all the loads of money, in your bag. But if you have got the Pay Angel app, which you've downloaded in the States, in the UK, anywhere you are in the diaspora, you can be in your home country, whether it's Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and you can actually, do transactions. And for Ghana in particular, where mobile money payments is something that is very prevalent. I mean, it facilitates, ease, or it facilitates how we do transactions. That's very good because you can easily pay for goods and services using your Pay Angel money transfer. You move money easily. So in a nutshell, that's Pay Angel. We are built by Africans for diasporans everywhere. So
I
Pay
literally
Angel
was
is
going to
built
ask
by
you that. I was just about to say, is this an African-owned, entity? But you took the words out of my mouth. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pay Angel is proudly African, wholly Ghanaian owned. We have offices here in the UK where I am at the moment. In Ghana, we have offices in Canada, um, and also presently in the United States. So it's exciting what we do and what we stand for. But more importantly, we are very proud of our heritage, and we make sure that when it comes to payments, it's something that you don't need to worry at all. Pay Angel facilitates that. And let me throw this in for those of us who are Ghanaians, or those who do business in Ghana. We have what we call the direct to merchant remittance. Pretty much, direct merchant remittance is available for all our receive countries, but for Ghana in particular, we have what we call the remit care. So it's exciting because remit care enables you to give family members, give your family members that peace of mind and protection. So in case when they fall sick and they need to visit the hospital, it's form of an add-on life insurance product that has been developed, and it's exclusive to Pay Angel money transfer. All you need to do is to be a client or customer of Pay Angel. So rolling monthly, you have your family members covered, and that product is exclusive to those who are in Ghana. But if we go Africa-wide, in the 12 countries that we presently operate, you have what we call the direct to merchant remittance. So if you are doing, business with any entity in any of our destination countries, you can pay them directly, provided they are on our app. If they are not even on our app, if you can call and speak to our customer experience team, and we can liaise with them, get them set up. And the advantage with that, Zali, is that sometimes if you make payments to an organization, there is all these issue about reconciliation, the money getting lost somewhere in the avalanche of bank transfers or bank transactions and all those things. We make sure that problem, that pain point goes away completely. So the business back home is easily able to reconcile all the payments they are receiving from the diaspora. They are able to log into a dashboard that we provide, and they see transactions all in one place, which is absolutely exciting. But for me to end, like I said, we are presently in the United States of America, and it's something that we've worked on for a while now. And the anticipation has been great. But finally, we are here, and we want to encourage everyone that make sure that you are visiting the App Store or Play Store, and you're downloading the Pay Angel app to send money back home.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us today, letting us know more about Pay Angel. For our members who are already in the network, you know a lot about Pay Angel, but for those who may be watching who are about to join the network, we just wanted to give you a little bit of what happens when you're in the GDN network. You get to meet organizations or companies like Pay Angel, as well as many, many more who can help you facilitate your transition, doing business and investment, all of that while you're here in Ghana or in Africa as a whole. So I want to say thank you so much, Daniel, for letting us know about Pay Angel and the expansion into the US market as well. I'm going to put that flyer up one more time just so everyone can see. Again, Pay Angel is live in the US, no fees,
Yeah.
fast, it's secure. I know the people here at GUBA, we have used Pay Angel for a number of different things, and we wouldn't suggest it if it wasn't a good product. So hopefully we will see more and more people joining and becoming an angel.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you very much for having me on
All
today's
right.
edition of the program. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. I'll see you later. All right.
All right. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Again, I see some new people have joined in. Hi, Michael. Michael's watching from Accra, Ghana. I hope that you are a part of the GDN network. If not, I have dropped the link in the chat for you to join today. Come one, come all. So again, today we're meeting with a sister. Her name is Bernice Appiah. She is a young woman who was born in Ghana, transitioned outside, and then has returned back. So we're definitely going to talk to her a little bit. I just want to tell you more about who she is. All right. So Bernice, she graduated from Brandeis University. She was a double major in African and Afro-American studies and politics. So the sister is, She got the brains. Okay. In a minor in legal studies, Bernice supported the government relations team for SAP in Washington, D.C. She also studied abroad in Ghana for fall 2017 and continued her work for SAP in Accra in the United States after her internship. She is a collaborative and a energetic person. I can account to this myself. She also operates with a sense of urgency of the highest level of integrity and flexibility. Currently, she's exploring her entrepreneurial journey after managing adoption and recruitment projects. So, if y'all ready to meet Sister Bernice, drop a 2 in the chat because there's going to be 2 amazing women on this call tonight. So, if you're ready to meet her, drop a 2. I want to see it. And thank you again, everyone who is watching. Shout out again to some of our members who are in the chat. It's good to see you all virtually again. All right, I see it too. I need one more, at least one more before I bring up this amazing woman here. I need at least one more 2 in the chat. Oh, I got my second 2. Bernice, are you ready? Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. How are you?
I am doing fantabulous. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. I know that you've done GDN Seat before, but you were so good, we had to bring you back twice. Can you imagine?
That's a good thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I reached out to you, I wanted to talk about, I feel like we're in a similar age category. And I was like, we never hear the perspective of younger people who are transitioning to Ghana. I know when I started my journey, initially I was in South Africa. That was 2015. And I was in my late 20s. Now I'm in my mid 30s and I've been here in Ghana for almost 7 years. And there was always an awkward, part about my social scene being in Ghana. I always was like the one young lady, in Ghana, they'll say small girl. I was the one small girl in the mix. And it was very difficult to find other young women who were around my age, kind of here, totally, living or at least coming back and forth half and half. And so I wanted us to talk about that. Like, what is it like for a millennial or younger to move to Ghana or to live and work, play, however you want to do it, in Ghana or in Africa? And so I'm so excited that you agreed to kind of focus in on that topic.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I think for me, I started my desire to come back to Ghana when I was really young. It just was something that I was like, I have more to do in both the US and Ghana and the continent as a whole. So the first recollection of me wanting to come back to Ghana is when I was doing a science project, and I did a science project about half volcanoes and half about Ghana. I like a science project about Ghana. That makes no sense. That's geography, right? But I knew that I wanted to come back. And when I went to university, Brandeis University, I decided to study African and Afro-American studies with politics and a minor in law because I want to know international relations. Because as much as we can say we want to support people and everything, money is what runs the world. So I knew that I needed to know a lot about international relations. And I had also taken about 13 advanced science courses in my life. So I did the chemistry, the biology. I was like, I'm bored. So I decided to learn how, all of these facets of the education system really work together. And I realized that money really runs everything. So I got really interested in how to bring science and international relations world together. And I found myself working as actually becoming the president of the African Student Organization. And in 2017, as a junior in college, I had the opportunity to relocate back to Ghana to do a semester abroad. And that was very interesting because I took it as, I went to school when I was 6 years old in Ghana, but what does it look like now? What does the education system look like now? And during that time is when I made really great relationships with people who were studying law, studying art, studying to travel the world. So I had a group of people that I knew were my knit friend group in Ghana who are all trying to advance and do something with their lives. From there, I came back to the US and had the opportunity to work with SAP. And SAP is a software company, and it's known as one of the biggest ERP companies in the world. And I had the opportunity to work in, like, you know, like if the White House was down the road, we're right there. So I had the opportunity to meet so many influential people, and part of that was a blessing in my life, because I had the opportunity to meet people who taught me about stocks, relocation, what it looks like to do international business. So even though I wasn't I was an intern and I was learning so much, I was able to couple my experience with Ghana, my experience with business and international relations all in one. So some people say I never used my college degree. Me, I paid a lot of money for my degree and I used it. I used it. So that was a lot of what fueled the fire for me to say, okay, I can do a lot in America. I know that, especially because people that look like me were not in so many high places. So I was like, okay, I have to find out why, and then use what I've learned to do just that. So going back to the question, being young, it wasn't easy to make the decision to go back. It was just a burning passion that was beyond words. And I used this passion in every facet of my life. So from working with the Washington, D.C. office, I had somebody heard that there's a Ghanaian girl in this department and they had a project in Ghana. And I went and led I was part of the project. Then later on, as I worked with SAP, I was able to work in the office of the CEO, that department. I was eventually called by somebody to then lead a pilot project in Ghana with the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation as the on-ground lead. So it just was like falling into place. After that experience, I realized what was the issues, what were the things that we could kind of like change. And I said, okay, if I want to make this change, I've learned that you have to do it alone. Sometimes you just have to. So I was able to humbly resign and still have an amazing relationship with everybody I worked with. And now I'm on my own, creating my own entrepreneurial businesses, like different things that I'm doing right now.
Your story sounds very similar to a lot of us who come at this space where we're still just really figuring out life in general. But one of the things that is sticking out to me through your story is the power of like the network. Somebody knew you and knew enough about you to say, oh, let me recommend to her, oh, this may be something that you're interested in. And I think for younger people who are coming into Ghana, building that network can sometimes be a little bit difficult. So I like the fact that you said, if you're coming at this stage in life, you also have to make peace with the fact that sometimes you're going to do some of this alone. Okay, you're not going to have a whole big crowd and everybody cheering you on and all of that. It's going to be, didn't you just finish your graduate degree? Why are you moving to Ghana? Didn't you just do this? Why are you going here? Shouldn't you just get a good job? You know how people say the good job.
Or even the
good job. You know, go ahead.
Or even they say, like, for me, like, I'm not married, so Ghanaians is like, like, you're not married, you're going to and it's like, well, I'm sorry. Like, I've offended everybody, but I'm still gonna do it. Or, you know, there's certain things that, I mean, I remember one of the things that I wanted to do in Ghana was buy property. And it was, oh, you're gonna get scammed and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, you did it with Uncle so and so. I'm doing it with a reputable company, right? And I might pay double for what I'm going to do, but I'm paying for comfort. I'm paying for peace of mind. So it's like the tactics in which our parents used that I'm like, okay, like, I get it. A lot of the generations before me, they left the country with a gun to their head because there was a coup, there was something, you know, there were so many things that pushed them out of the country. So they have a lot of like
fear.
A fear, yeah. And it's I understand that, but fear is not going to help you to move forward. So it's either I listened to that or I just was like, I'll just do it alone. And I just did it alone. So yeah.
Listen, I completely agree. Like, you know, I'm Black American. I decided to relocate to Africa as a whole. And I ended up landing in Ghana. And funny enough, the same thing, my mother, when she got down to the wire, she's like, but you're not married. And I'm thinking, you have never preached I must be married by a certain age. But when it came down to me moving to another country in Africa, that was the first thing that popped up. So I think mothers do that everywhere for sure. So I'm interested to know, like, you kind of came through with, of course you're Ghanaian, but your independent experiences in Ghana came through your study abroad and some of your work. And you didn't mention or reference being an entrepreneur. And I think Ghana by force makes a lot of us entrepreneurs, you know?
Yeah.
I want to know, like, okay, from your experience, how did you like sustain yourself financially during this transition period? Like, how did you establish yourself in Ghana enough to be able to stay? You know, because I see a lot of people come and go because of the money, if we're just being honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first thing I did was, again, I give a lot of credit to my old bosses at SAP and the people that nurtured me about finances. I always budgeted myself and I never went beyond my means. I lived on 30% of what I made and everything else I invested. So I bought a house when I was really young and was able to get profit from that. I saved in my 401k and my Roth, right? And like I was like 23 when I bought a property, and then I invested in property in Ghana. So a lot of the money I was making at the workplace, I didn't really touch. And I was telling my friends, like, while my friends are clubbing or people are clubbing, me, I'm home. Like, I just don't like going out. So it was easy to finance myself because I didn't bring any habits I didn't have in America to Ghana. Like, I tell people, don't go there. If you live in a rented apartment, don't go and buy a house. Like, in Ghana, it doesn't go and rent an apartment there that suits your living experiences. And on top of that, I lived very much on regular meat, regular food. I love wache. I love banku noko stew. There's a place that sells it for 25 cedis. I'm not going to go sit at a restaurant that sells for 125. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. So I was just very simple minded. And one thing I did is I invested in things that I knew would eventually give me profit. Like, property appreciates if you buy it in the right area. So I did that. I put a lot of money in my 401k. So every time I'll get my paycheck, I'll pay myself, then I'll pay my tithe, and then I'll pay money into a savings for emergencies, or if I want to just for enjoyment. So I knew that I had made sure that I budgeted, and I lived in places where I knew that if I lived in certain areas, there are areas in Ghana that, you know, you can live, but then you're exchanging your peace of mind or your health. Like, there's certain things that, you know, there's some places where people burn all their trash. I'm like, I'm not gonna live there. So you plan, even if you're gonna live in those areas, live in an area that's like maybe closer to like the street areas, so like you're not around a lot of like the rubbish and stuff like that. So it was a lot of, number one, investing in things that you know that will appreciate. So if you want to buy a property and in America, you did that before you built. And I say this all the time. I get a lot of flack for it. I don't understand why a lot of people go and build a house in Ghana, but then they'll suffer in America. It just makes no sense. Why don't you invest in Ghana, in the US, the best you can, right? Get a property, have a business, do something that gives you money back. Even if there's a new system where you can even like, there's a new company where you can even buy an extra car, maybe an affordable car, and then you rent it out to people. For people who do long rides or they go to school and they just need a car to rent. Even if that's an extra $200, that's $200 you don't have to think about. And you save that money that could be your money for Ghana, but not your actual paycheck. You see? So I always found ways to do something. Even though I was working in IT and I was doing very well, I did DoorDash for some time. I did Poshmark. I would go to Goodwill, the old used clothes, wash it, whatever, and then sell it online. And that would be my form of, okay, when I go to Ghana, I have like $3,000, $2,000. This is how much as I'm spending. So I'm calculating this amount, and that's it. And also, some of the things I think people are losing money from is trusting the wrong people. Like, you have GUBA. Use GUBA. We're paying like yearly fee. Use the GUBA network, but you want to go with your auntie or uncle who some of them might, you know,
we know. We know.
So, you see, so those are the things that I'm like, just don't put what you wouldn't do in America, don't go and do it in Ghana. I think that's the lifestyle that I practice, and it works for me. So.
And you know what I like about what you said is the part about living within your means, understanding that you can make your money that you're earning in some of these other places work for you in Ghana, but you have to be strategic about it. And you know, sometimes I think we get caught up in the Instagram reels or the YouTube videos and all of those things when it comes to returning to Ghana, or even if you're just coming to do business here. But I like what you said. It was some very practical advice, like find you something that's like your side money. Collect your side money, use that as a part of your base for coming here, especially for people who I would say are anywhere between like 25, I would even push it up to 40, right? If you're within that age category, there's a lot of things you're still figuring out. You may not have an abundance of overflow of money coming in from your business. Some of you might, right? But some of us, the average, 25 to 40-year-old may not have that right away, but you know how to do, DoorDash. Like for me, I taught online. So I was a 9-to-5, teacher. And then I would teach English additionally online. I spent, about 10 months, one school year, and I just stacked money. I was teaching online, teaching children in China, just stacking money. And that was like my startup money when I came here. Also, what you said, I lived within my means even once I was here, so that now I can say, oh, I can buy this, I can buy that, I can start this business, I can put more money into this. So I think the practicality of what you're saying is really good for people to hear. Also, again, honing in on having a community, having a network of trusted individuals. So I do want to ask you, finding a sense of community is like a very, very crucial part of relocating to a new country. And I mean anywhere. So like, what are some of the things that you've done to try to connect in with other people? I know you're a part of, GDN, but even outside of that, what are some of the things that you've done to try to connect with other people and build that sense of community when you're in Ghana?
I think for me, I basically created communities with people I went to school with that I knew were authentic in themselves. I also created communities with other entrepreneurs, like, because we understand the struggle, like, and we share things with each other. Like, say we hire somebody who's not correct, I'm like, don't hire this person. Like, this will happen. Like, we look out for each other. So that was kind of my the way I build community. I'll meet people, and people will be, funny enough, I didn't know people knew who I was. I just thought I was just walking around, and then people like, oh, you're the girl from SAP. I'm like, oh, hi. Like, I'll be at Kempinski, and someone's like, I know you. And I'm like, I have no clue who you are, but nice to meet you. And then from there, we start talking or getting to know each other, or just because of the places in which I found myself, right? I'm working with tech people. There's not a lot of tech women in Ghana. Like, there's not a lot of us. So it's like, if there's 3 of us, we're all going to be, going to know each other, know their friends. And that was pretty much it, making a community. But I'm someone who's also very different from what I feel the Ghanaian community is, which is very communal. I'm a loner. Like, I enjoy being home every day. Unless I have to go in for meetings and have conversations, I don't want to go outside. Unless I want to go to the beach and sit by myself, I genuinely do not want to go outside. So for me, finding a group was like, oh, like finding maybe other people who are in the GUBA Diaspora Network, or find people who are in tech, or find people who are creating businesses like I'm creating, and then we become friends. Like someone, for example, Unicorn Rentals is a car service I use, and because of the service has been so great, I know the owner. Like, so now the owner and I are friends. So that's how I made friends. But I wouldn't just like make friends with certain people. And then on top of that, like if I like a certain food place, I always make friends with the owner of the company. Like, if I like your food, I think it's good to be friends with the person who owns it. So yeah.
Awesome. So you mentioned like the way that you like to show up is just slightly different from, I guess, what's the cultural norm. So are there any other like cultural or maybe social differences that have been maybe have posed a challenge to you? So being that you're a little bit more to yourself, you like that, is there anything else that could have been a challenge, but it's basically a cultural difference for you?
Yeah, and I think I shared this last time about certain things, like say for example, I being a single woman, I'll go out and I'll eat by myself, and it was like, what is going on with her? Like, Madame,
I
who
can
you
totally identify. I love going to the movies by myself, and people
right?
always look funny, like, it's just one ticket and I'm paying. They're like, I guess.
True story. I went to Labadi Beach I like to sometimes sit at the beach and pray. And I went to go sit, I had my Bible, I was reading, I was like, God, I thank you. And then a woman comes to me and says, one of the security men wants to come and see me. Is he allowed? I said, oh, sure. He's like, are you okay? Like, as if like he was really concerned about my mental health and safety. And I was like, I don't, am I offending the government? Like, it was a serious question. Like, am I offended the government? And it was really interesting to see, like, okay, I have to announce, hey, I'm just here. Like, when I sit by myself and they come and they're like, oh, when your person comes, you can order. And I'm like, I am my person. Just so that was really strange. And then certain things like I think the judgment that you'd receive because of the fact that maybe you're an independent woman, they're and it's sad to say this, but it's always gonna be like that. What I've seen is like there has to be someone else making your life functional. And I'm like, I work, like I stay home, like I don't know. So at first that used to annoy me, but then after a while I just was like, okay, it is what it is. And lastly, like I think for me, for me, it's just me and my siblings and like a cousin. I don't really know my family, so it's just me doing life. So like when people like, oh, I have an event, oh, you should bring your family with it, and I'm just like, I have to explain that. I think Ghanaians are so communal that they expect like if an issue happens, especially like if something happens between me and somebody, like a worker and myself, they want to talk to my family. I'm like, it's just me and the police officers. Like there's
there's no extra people.
But they do that, yeah.
I will say that because I have noticed things like that, I have just come up with people. So I have like go-to people. I'm like, if something happens, you are my family. We're going here and you are going to speak with me, about the issue. So I've kind of just adapted or assimilated to that. And I've just kind of created a network of people that I'm 100% going to call on to do that. We do have a few questions that people have asked, so I just want to make sure we highlight those. So Dr. Ranger is asking again for you to clarify, what is your field of work, I believe?
Yeah, so I have 3 different fields. I did consulting, and I was a business analyst within IT, the software industry, and I also did international relations within the software industry. So I did a lot of my work was working in software and consulting with government agencies.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to take that one down. Also, Dr. Ranger, prior to working with GUBA, I was into education. So I also have done consulting work really within West Africa. So Ghana, Nigeria, places like that. And then now I'm with GUBA, living my best life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my background. My background was in education. Also, I have one more question here. Let me see if I can find it. Ashley Lester. She says she has a great career. And first of all, let me just say this. I'm happy that you are happy about your career in the States, because that's not a lot of people's journey. So I'm happy that you found something that really is fulfilling for you. And I'm assuming that it's fulfilling because you put great in all caps. So yeah, she says she has a great job in the US, but in the future, she would love to move to Ghana. How is the job market in Ghana? Can I speak to this one first?
Yeah, because I've never had a job in Ghana, like a Ghanaian job.
Okay, so I've had a job in Ghana, and I've also like had contracts in Ghana, and then I've also worked remotely, but living in Ghana. So I've had a plethora of experiences. To be very honest, the Ghanaian job market is not it's not that favorable in the sense that there are a lot of people here who don't have work. So if you're coming in and you have a certain skill set, um, also people wanting paying you what you're used to being paid for that task is most likely not going to happen in the way that you would think it would happen. So what I found that a lot of people do, myself included, they may have some type of consulting work or remote work from the country that they're coming from that is kind of like their bread and butter. And then what they're doing in Ghana is like their passion work, something that they are okay with taking a smaller amount for because they love the work that they're doing, or that work is kind of helping them build the network that they need to sustain a life in Ghana. That's one way. I've also seen people, jump into their entrepreneurship bag and really start to invest their money. So some people will come and invest in startups, they'll invest in other businesses that are already established. They take a percentage, and they really just kind of live off of their investments or a business that they've already started. So those are the situations that I've seen for the most part. And then one more. There are some people who come and they work for like multinational companies. So maybe you're working for Shell, right? Well, we know Shell is all over the globe, but they have, a branch here in Ghana. So typically those people tend to have higher pay rates than those who are working for a company that's like born and bred in Ghana that maybe hasn't gotten to that level yet. So those are kind of the options that I typically see people fall into. But the good thing about Ghana is the sky's the limit, to be very honest. There's no one way to do anything. There are many options, and a lot of it is you kind of creating your own pathway for what you want to see and just literally manifesting it. I also see someone here saying that they have a background in like corporate internal auditing, forensic accounting. Yeah, all of those are some really great technical skills to have. Those are things that you could do remotely. I am a very big proponent of remote work. Like, I think it is super awesome. I think it helps people live comfortably when they are abroad, wherever they are, but for us in Ghana, and it makes you not have to worry about money. So that whoever that person is, those are some really good skills to have. One more, somebody says they're a psychologist and they're interested in mental health advocacy. So I would definitely like to direct you to the GUBA Foundation because we do a number of different projects around a lot of the social issues that you'll find. So definitely reach out to us via Instagram, or you can send an email, either one. We can talk about that more. Okay. All right. And so you say you never actually worked in Ghana for a Ghanaian company, right?
Yeah. No, I've
But
never.
but do you have like I guess you said you're starting up some businesses. Are those going to be based in Ghana, or you'll still have them based outside and you'll just use the profit from that to live in Ghana?
They're gonna be based in Ghana. So
Okay.
this would be like the first like Ghanaian company. And I don't know why I've never it's never crossed my mind why I've never worked for a Ghanaian company, but I think it's because every every company I've ever worked for, SAP and other companies, they've never let me go. It's not like I've ever had an issue to move on. So I'll just work remotely over there, remotely over there. They've always allowed remote work. So
Mhm.
I never had to work for any Ghanaian based company. Yeah.
I will say,
Interesting.
it is, if you want to be baptized by fire, as a young person moving into Ghana, or a younger person moving into Ghana, work here and work for a company rooted here, and that is baptism by fire. There's two ways: working here, going to school here. Both of those will put you knee deep into the culture, into the ways, and it really kind of, brings it all to you full blown. Right. So if you can have an opportunity to do a little bit of work here, I think that would be helpful. Also, again, like if you can work remotely like Bernice has done, that's always an option as well. All right. So yeah, I just had a few more questions. I know we've talked about some of the challenges of building your network here. But I also want to just have you share like what's some of the most rewarding aspects of living in Ghana as a young, diasporan. Because what I have seen, when I see my retired brothers and sisters, they be living the best life, right? And I see a lot of us, we're still hustling and bustling. So for you, what has been the most rewarding aspect of living here as a young expatriate or
Oh,
returning?
I think the access to nature, like for me, I love going to places like Akosombo and just being there. There's another returnee who has their own um I've got the flow. It's called the flow. It's a little like getaway from Accra. And when I go there, I just feel so much at peace. I love being able to get up and say, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the beach. I love getting fresh coconuts. Like there's always something happening in Ghana. Like even though I don't go out much, when I do go out, it's always an experience. There's always something gonna happen, and it's also for me. I think my network of friends. I have 6 best friends. They're all female, and they're all 5 of them are Ghanaian, and many of them are returning back. And to see them build their houses, to see them build their businesses, to see like I get so emotional when I see my friends doing their work as well, because it's like it's so nice to see us also coming back. We say, oh, you must come back and support the country, and it'll be 10 years we haven't done it, but to see people that I went to school with become top lawyers, to become top educators, for me that's so fulfilling. And one of the things I also love about being back home is that there's music everywhere. There's always music. Like right now in the US, I'm like, I don't hear anything. Those streets are quiet. In Ghana, you'll be hearing different songs.
Like
There's
evidence of life. Yeah, yeah.
You'll be at Osu passing by, you're hearing one. Sometimes it's so funny because you'll be hearing a Christian song here and then like a life song here, and then like, like it's just there's always life, there's always something to do in Ghana, and there's always opportunities. I always see people who say there's no opportunity in Ghana. You just don't want to find it. You just want to stay there and let somebody else take care of you. But there's always opportunities in Ghana if you look for it, and something that if you don't find something, you can build it. Like I said to someone, I don't like how something was run, right? I told him I don't like how you run your business. When I go to someone's business and I see something wrong, I'll tell you. Not because I want to put you in a bad place, but I'm saying if I want to bring people like-minded like myself here, I think I'm giving this business strategy to you. Someone actually used the strategies, and the next thing you know, wow, they're like, our business is doing better. I'm like, yeah, I could have charged you for that, but I just want the country to, I just want things to get better. So I like that people genuinely in Ghana, there's always food. I think that's the part that I always have to say. There's always food. You always find food, and it's I don't know, it's nice, but it's also very frustrating when you're like, I want something like at this time. It's like, yes, at this time. So I love the fact that you can always find coconuts on the sidewalk. You can always find something, especially the nightlife. Yeah, like that.
Like you said, there's always evidence of life here. There's always evidence of people like having joy. It's like people are, having joy. Even when things are hard, there's still like a sense of like hope. Like it's an energy. I don't know exactly the words to say it, but it's definitely an energy. It's definitely a feeling. And it's definitely something that everybody, if you can, should want to experience, or if you have the resources to experience. And just before we close out, I do want to mention that GUBA does do tours. So if you are a person who is interested in coming, like I know I saw someone in the chat saying that they have a great job now, but eventually they would like to move to Ghana. Well, set up a tour, with GUBA. do take your a little sabbatical, maybe like a 30-day, 60-day sabbatical. Come and let us curate something for you so you really get to see the space, and really get to kind of get a feel of this energy that we've been talking about, the feeling of being here and the feeling of just having liveliness around you all the time. All right. Again, Bernice, I want to say thank you so much for joining in today. I know that you have some businesses that are developing, and I do want to give you a chance to talk about those. First up, I want to bring up your beautiful line here. I'm just going to show one of the images here. All right, you see these beautiful, beautiful wares that are here. I'm going to bring up just another one. These are lovely, and guess who made them? Take a guess. Lovely, lovely, lovely outfits here, and they are made by none other than our sister girl here, Bernice Appiah. She has a wonderful, wonderful fashion line that is coming. It is called Comfort by Bernice Appiah. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Comfort is a line that I say was birthed by God, honestly, and I'm just the woman pushing this fashion business to the world, right? I was literally, the true story. I was sleeping one day and I had a saying the weirdest dream, and it said, open up a business, call it Comfort by you. And it was like, where's this coming from? I had a fashion business, and my mom had a fashion business, and she passed away some years ago. So I was still going through the fact that I lost my mom. I was just going through that grieving process, and I was like, I'm tired of grieving. I just want to move on in my life. And then I had this dream, and I was like, God, if this is it, I'll do it. I took 8 months sabbatical, moved to Ghana. Just moved to Ghana, and with time created and curated this company, and now we're opening online. We don't have a physical shop yet, but we will have one. But this time everything is done in Ghana. I'm working with other vendors from different parts of the African continent, and it's mostly women led. And it's such a beautiful, mostly women led, from the person who integrated the payment app to the vendors to the people that create the clothing. We have women who go to the market and pick and select the material, and they're women as well. So that was very big. That was huge for me to start. And the name Comfort comes from the fact that I just want anyone who wears my outfits or to wear to feel comfort and to find peace in that attire. So we have a section of the company where you can actually say, hey, I really love this outfit. I don't like it in this color. I want it in this material. And we can walk you through the conversation of, okay, we're going to go to the material shop. Is this the material that works for you? We can actually make the item for you. Yeah, custom made. And we just finished a bridal party actually, where they're like, we wanted these outfits, so we had to create these outfits for them. So it's one part, we have our own stuff, right? We have some of these beautiful outfits, but we also ask you, what do you want? And we want to hear the feedback of the people that are purchasing our outfits, because when I'm no longer here, I still want the company to stand as a company that didn't just make clothes. We made it for you, right? We made it for you. We made it for everybody watching. So it's been a beautiful journey, 8 months of a lot of work, and anything that you want to do, it's work. It's work. So
Definitely.
We're just doing the last bits and pieces, and then we're going to open it to the world.
Awesome. And I'm super, super proud of you for doing this. We do have the website just at the bottom of the screen there. So once it launches, everybody rush on over, get you some of these very Comfort by Bernice pieces. This is the one I want. I'm just telling you already, because I already know.
It's so soft. The silk is it's soft but heavy at the same time. So you don't have to be worried about wearing so many layers under, which I really like, because I always want Comfort to be something that you can slip on, slip off, and be like, okay, no stress. So
exactly. And
yeah.
and I do want us to look at the people are now, the comments are on fire, right? So I do want to pull in just a few more. Someone was asking about the car service that you mentioned. I think it was called,
Unicorn Rentals.
okay.
UNICORN Rentals. RENTALS. And as for Mr. Alexander,
All right. So tell them
just
Bernice sent you.
yes, tell him I sent you. Be like, oh, again. I've always said it. Poor guy.
All right. We also have somebody who says, can you be an advisor to GUBA about businesses? Sure. I mean, just send me an email. I'll actually put my email in the chat, so that we can have a conversation about it. Okay. What else do we have here coming up in the chat? Oh, thank you so much, Nanette. She says, great job. I really appreciate it. If this is my Nanette, hey, girl. I'm my sister from California. Ella says she came in a little bit late, work, but we understand. We totally get it. So contact for tours. You can always contact us for tours you can find us on Instagram at GUBA Tours, anytime, all day, any day. Okay, I'll actually put that up again so that you can see it and note it down. So yeah, we're on Instagram, GUBA Tours. You can always find us there. Let's see who else has said something here. Hi, good evening, GDN members. Hi, Colin. It's good to see you. Thank you all so very much for joining us this evening. We have been on almost an hour, y'all. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And again, before we leave, I just want to post one more thing here. We'll go ahead and pull it up. Boom. If you can see it, it is real, right? We do have Pay Angel here. Pay Angel is focused on making sure that Africa's diaspora is able to make payments for goods and services in their home countries very easily. The products and services are designed to provide tailored payment solutions for individuals and businesses in the markets that we serve. Pay Angel is fast, it's reliable, it's secure, and it's convenient, and allows their customers to make payments online whenever and wherever to their home country, provided they have internet access. So all you need is your phone. To execute the vision, they offer innovative payment solutions with increased convenience, better exchange rates, and provides an exceptional overall service with no hidden fees or charges. So you guys, when you all are trying to move money for your investments back and forth between Ghana and wherever you're coming from, when you're trying to do all of that, Pay Angel are the people that we're suggesting. They're Ghanaian owned or African owned, and it's really, really a good service. We definitely have used them here with GUBA. Thank you, Miss Mira. She said, thank you. Great job, ladies. We appreciate that love. We appreciate you for following and joining in with us this evening. All right, and before we close out for the night or the afternoon, for some of you all, if you are not a member of the GUBA Diaspora Network, like Bernice, like some of the people in the chat, like Collins, and everybody else who is watching who's a part of the network, this is your opportunity to do so. Right? You can always send us an email. You can go to our website. You can find us on Instagram. And I'm going to drop the link in the chat one more time. So if you are interested in becoming a member, hi, Ella, she's already a member. Thank you. You want to be a part of the network. You want to figure out how you can do this thing called moving to Ghana, returning, repatriation, whatever you want to call it, okay, doing business, go ahead and fill out that survey link. Someone from our team will definitely reach out to you as soon as possible. And let's just stay connected. Let's continue to spread the good news about where we are here in Africa and beyond. So thank you again, Bernice. I really do appreciate you. And y'all make sure y'all check out Comfort by BerniceAppiah.com. It's going to be launching very, very soon. All right. Bye, Bernice.
Bye, everyone.
All right. And so again, before we close out tonight, I just want to say thank you. This is the GDN Seat here at the GUBA Diaspora Network. You can find us every first Monday of the month. We will be highlighting people who are a part of our network, the businesses that they run, the investments that they have, and all the great things that come along with moving to Ghana. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.